All right, good morning, everybody. We're going to be working on lesson 22 problem set on page 154. We are going to be using number bonds in order for us to subtract whole numbers. Now, at first, it's going to be a little confusing when I begin, but you're then going to start realizing the pattern that we're focusing on. We're taking a whole in order to subtract with a fraction. So let's do these first two together, and then you'll kind of start picking up how we are focusing our attention on these whole numbers. Let's start with C here. We are going to focus on 7 whole, subtracting 3/8. We are going to be using a number bond, and we are going to be taking out 1 whole out of the 7. So when I subtract a whole from 7, I'm going to have 6, and we're going to take that whole we took out and make it 8/8. Because the denominator is 8, and that is telling us that our whole is 8/8. You're like, why are we doing this, Mr. Brown? Well, we need to subtract 8/8 with 3/8 so that we can subtract appropriately and accurately. So we are going to subtract 8/8 with 3/8, and we will get 6 whole, because I'm using this 6 here, don't forget about it. And we are subtracting the numerators. 8 subtract 3 is 5, and we have 8. That is our first answer. 6 and 5/8. Okay, we're going to be working with D. We're going to do the same thing with this, except for we have 10 whole, subtract 4/10. So we have 10 whole, subtracting 4/10. And we have to take, we're going to use our number bond, and we're going to take out a whole from 10, and that is going to give us 9 whole. The denominator is 10, is 10, so this will be 10/10. Okay? Now what I did here, this 9 and this 10/10, that equals 10 whole here. I just used a whole and I put it into 10/10. So you can see here that we have 9 whole and 10/10, and that equals 10 whole. We just took a whole and made it 10/10. Now that we have 10/10, I'm going to take all this away so we have space. Now that we have 10/10, we can subtract 4/10. They have the same denominators. Okay? We don't forget your 9 whole. We're going to put 9 here. And 10 subtract 4. That equals 6. And our denominator stays the same at 10. And this is our answer. Okay. We are going to be working with 4A, 4B. If you need to pause this video to catch up, you can. If you are feeling comfortable, you can pause this video and continue doing more of the math. If you still are kind of, I don't really get it yet, Mr. Brown, you can still work with me while I'm working on 4A and 4B. All right. So we have 3 whole. I am going to subtract 1/10. Okay. In order for us to subtract, we need to take out a whole from 3 whole. So I'm going to do that. Now we have 2 whole. But that whole I took out, we are going to make that 10/10 because our denominator is 10. So I'm going to make 10/10. Now that we have 2 whole and 10/10, now I can subtract this 1/10 here, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Do not forget your 2 whole. Subtract 10 and 1. You'll get 9. And your denominator stays the same. This is your answer. All right. Okay, pause this video. Try B. Check your work if you need to. I want you to start doing each problem on your own by decomposing the whole subtracting the fraction, and finding your answer. So do 4B, 4C, 4D, and then pause the video, do those problems, and then check your answers. All right, now that you pause the video, I'm gonna work these problems pretty quick so that you can check your answers. So we have 5 whole. We are gonna subtract 3/4. I am going to decompose this 5 whole. I'm gonna take a whole out. So now I have 4 whole. And this denominator 4 is telling me when the whole I took out, it's gonna be 4/4. Okay. Now I can subtract the 3/4. Babuski. And we have 4 whole and 3/4. There's my answer. Answer iski. That didn't make sense. But it's okay, because I am Brownski, and what I say goes. So we're moving on to the 4C. All right. Let's go with 6 whole and 5/8. I'm going to decompose 6 whole. We're taking out a whole. We have 5. My denominator is 8 here, so I know that it's going to be 8/8. Then I'm going to have to, now I'm able to subtract 5/8 from that. Don't forget your 5 whole. And it's 5 whole and 5/8. Okay? All right, last one. We have 7 whole and 3/9. We have to decompose the 7 whole. We're taking a whole out. It's going to be 6 whole. I know that the denominator is 9. So it's going to be 9/9. Now I can subtract 3/9 with 9/9. Don't forget your whole. So we got 6 whole here. And 3/9. Okay, that is the end of this video. If you need to practice more, you can do the exit ticket on page 155 if you have more time. I really like number bonds when it comes to fractions and whole numbers. So if you feel more comfortable with the number bond, keep it going. Have a great day, and go math.